Hi everyone, my name is Anna DeMarinis and your student is hopefully in my third period pre-calculus class. I'm sorry I couldn't make it there tonight. I teach dance classes at a local studio in Burien on Wednesday and Thursday nights and I wasn't able to get a sub for tonight, so I apologize that I'm not here in person. I did send an email. If you have any questions after this video PowerPoint, feel free to reach out and I'll be more than happy to answer them. A little bit about me. I actually work part-time due to these two precious little baby girls that I have. Mia is 3 and Sienna was just born in May of this year. I am born and raised in Seattle. I went to Kennedy High School, went to Gonzaga, graduated in 2010, and then came back over here. I've been teaching for 11 years now. 7 of which have been here at West Seattle High School, and then I did teach for 4 years at Kent Ridge High School. So even though I'm part-time and I'm only here at the beginning chunk of the day, I'll show you my office hours at the end, and so it'll let you know that students can still come in and get extra help and support even if I'm only here in the mornings. This is just, it was on my syllabus, but if you have any questions about my grading policy, this is kind of the standard. We have practice sets in pre-calc every day. It's kind of essentially like homework, but I try and give about 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes more, in class. Plus, our third period's attached to advisory, so a lot of students use that advisory study hall time to finish their work. So ideally, the practice sets, there should be very little homework for them to take home if they're using their class time wisely. We have quizzes about every few weeks in between units. They are anywhere from 10 to 30 points. The only thing about quizzes is that you cannot retake a quiz due to just timing and district policy. So if you have a question on that, let me know. Review assignments before a test, those are always a little bit bigger, so I make those 5 points in the gradebook, and then obviously a unit test is going to be worth anywhere from 50 to 100. The district has a policy where all missing assessments and assignments will be marked in the gradebook as IE, which means insufficient evidence, and counts as a 50%. I usually mark those as missing or absent in the gradebook, and a student can always turn late work in, so if they are missing an assignment or an assessment, they can show it to me and still get full credit as long as it's completed by the end of that unit. If a student scores below a 60% on any unit test, I usually make them do a retake. However, anybody can retake a test for up to any percent. It needs to be done within the 2 weeks of getting your test back. Usually I have them do corrections and review. Our first retake for our Chapter 1 test will be next week on either Thursday or Friday, the 17th or the 18th. And so if your student didn't feel like they did well on the first test, the first test is definitely the hardest and the scariest, encourage them to come on in, and I will as well, and they can retake it up to 100% if they get it all right. So retakes are highly encouraged, and in an AP class with how fast we move, it's bound to happen. So let me know if you have any questions about the retake policy or the grading policy. This is an AP class. I do not require students to take the AP exam. However, if students are looking to try and get that college credit, then the exam date for AP Pre-Calculus is Tuesday, May 13th of 2025. The AP exam only covers 3 units. We here at West Seattle High School take each of those units and break them up into smaller tests. So Unit 1 will be 2 tests. Unit 2 will be 2 tests. Unit 3 will be 2 to 3 tests, just because having one big test would just be way too overwhelming. The 4th unit that's not assessed on the AP exam, we do that unit after the AP exam in May. So we continue on with Unit 4 after the 13th until the end of the school year. The exam is part calculator, part non-calculator. I highly recommend students in, especially if you're going to go on to AP Calculus or AP Statistics next year, I highly recommend you invest in one of these graphing calculators. The TI-84 Plus or the TI-84 Plus CE is what I recommend. They are the most user-friendly of all of the other calculators out there. They are quite expensive. You can sometimes find cheaper ones on eBay or used ones, but I have a few in my classroom that students can borrow during class time, but if they're taking the test, they're going to need to have their own. So if you have questions about a calculator or need any support in getting one, once again, feel free to reach out. If your student is thinking about taking the AP exam, then the deadline to register and pay is November 6th. I've already had the students register online, so all you would need to do is pay via school pay using your parent source account before November 6th, so you have about 4 weeks. Please make sure that you keep a copy of your receipt and your records just to confirm everything. The fee is $120. There is a slight transaction fee of a couple dollars if you use a credit or debit card. If you want to pay by cash or check, then there is no fee, and you just pay that to West Seattle High School and go to the main office, and Ms. Penner will help you with that. If you do pay and then you decide, or your student decides that they don't want to take the exam, you get a full refund if you cancel by November 15th. If your student isn't sure if they want to take it or not, and then something happens and they don't take it in May, then a partial refund will be available in June for those students that did not take the exam. If your student qualifies for free and reduced lunch, you do need to make sure that you fill out a form and make sure that everything is qualified. So if you have questions on that, notify Amy Dahl. Also, if your student has accommodations for IEP or 504, they also need to fill out a separate form for College Board if they would like to receive those accommodations for the test. So if you have any questions about paying or accommodations or free and reduced lunch, let me know and I'll be more than happy to answer those. All right, my email is there. That's probably the best way to contact me. I do have a classroom phone, but since I'm part-time, I most likely will not be here to answer it. So, because I'm only here from the mornings and then I leave at lunch. So if your student ever is wondering when they can reach me, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm available for the entire lunch. And then I'm also available Thursday and Friday mornings from 8 to 8:45. I will be available some Wednesdays, but we usually have Wednesday morning meetings. And so it's not every Wednesday that I'm available. But if you have any questions, let me know. Super excited for it this year. Pre-calc is probably one of my favorite subjects, and although AP might seem a little intimidating, I hope you know that I'm here to support your student and to make sure that they are prepared for the exam or for whatever class they decide to take next year. Thank you so much and have a good night. Bye.